So it's been an interesting day, huh? We had an incident at the White House. We had an uncovering of a plot uh, by the IRGC. Um, we've got, we had a, hold on a second. I had one. Oh, I think it was actually further up here. No. Um, oh, well, we had um, the VP racing back to the White House, maybe because of a peace deal. Um, I don't know. We just had a lot of stuff, but I found this poll right here, and at first I thought it was a cool poll until I voted, and then I looked at the post, and um, why are people attempting things? Well, we got Iran, Russia, other because of the opposing side. And, I agree to a certain extent that sometimes people are being pushed over the edge by words. But the other part is like, it's been picking up. Like this has been going. I mean, the words have been flying like this for what 10 years almost now, and that it hasn't caused anything like this. We've had the incident at the dinner. We've had incident today, and um, I, there's got to be more factors. And honestly, this is the other part that I want to talk about. And I've been saying this is that what's the natural human reaction if you just point your finger at them? They get defensive and it makes it worse. Like they turn, they become defensive, and then they hold resentment, and then the cycle continues. I don't want the cycle to continue anymore. This is actually getting to the point of true ridiculousness, and we need to figure out how to like defuse the situation. We've been doing it for 10 years. It's not helping anything, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about how the other side's bad. I mean, obviously, I know what side I'm on, and hopefully it's kind of apparent, but whatever. But the sensationalism that we've been doing and the pointing of fingers and all this stuff, we really need to work on trying to stop that because it just makes whoever side you are, if you point your finger at one side or the other, doesn't matter if you're left or right, but you point your finger at the other side, they become defensive, and it's just human nature that you fight back. And now that society is kind of degraded, and a lot of people agree on this, that society is degrading, um, it becomes worse because a degraded mind becomes vengeful too. So that's kind of where I'm trying to step into the center, where it's like, hey, we need to stop this. And I mean, I heck, it looks like I've been pretty much blacklisted anyway, considering I only have one view per video. But whatever, I'll keep on doing it. Uh, excuse me. So the thing we need to work on is actually stop feeding in. We need to stop fanning the flames by pointing fingers. Is what we really need to do. Now, maybe there's other problems, like, there's half of America who's worried about the economy, or half of America who's worried about the cost of living, and that's the other problem. Like, it is getting worse. I don't care who you are. I mean, maybe not everyone, but a good portion of America is sitting here wondering if we're gonna actually, how many more of us are going to be on the streets pretty soon. I make good money, and I have a hard time sometimes. So, and I watched someone, I can't remember who it was, but he recently, he doesn't have enough money, and he got fired from a job because they wouldn't cover his costs of travel anymore, or um what how they want him to pay for it first and then get reimbursed. And sometimes they don't reimburse him for 30 days. And he pretty much said he can't do it anymore, and he needs help to be able to pay for their travel expenses. And they canned him this week sometime. I mean, that's pretty bad. I mean, you're talking about you're working for a company and they won't pay for your travel when you're supposed to travel. So there's a lot of stuff where, I mean, there's heavy resentment towards people. And the thing is like, okay, so the violence is coming from the opposing party right now, right? Um, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, maybe for a little while the Republicans looked like they were the party of the people, and that they were going to care about the citizens more than the Democrats. But as much as I hate to say it, most of the people who are still on that side right now, um, they are still the original people who hate rich people. And so that mindset hasn't left them yet, even though it might not be true 100% anymore, but they still have that as a ethos of their being. So right now, I mean, you see massive amounts of profit for companies, not enough pay for workers, um, wars that some people don't want to deal with, the impending doom of the economy because of it. I mean, there's there's a lot that is, you know, there's a lot that can be causing this right now. This uptick. I mean, there's so much, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I still technically support the president, just definitely not to the extent that I used to. Because I am worried about the economy. I'm worried about other things than, you know, than what it appears that we're working on. I'm upset that Doge isn't still running, or at least we don't hear anything about it. Uh, there's a lot of stuff, and so the people who, well, the word dislike isn't strong enough, and but words that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube maybe is like, it's just increasing, because if some of his base is getting upset with some of the stuff he's doing at this point, because I'm technically his base because I have more conservative values and I want those enforced. That, you know, if I'm starting to worry about stuff, then the people who've always been on a side where they don't like him, they're just going to get worse, and things are going to get worse, and these things are going to get more common. And obviously, a lot of people are saying, "Well, look, they're actually the ones who are, violent and dangerous," and we've kind of known that for a long time, um, because otherwise they wouldn't support some of these outlandish, out of reality things. You know, kind of goes hand in hand with, you know, brain function. And I mean, and a lot of those people are really, really smart. So it's not brain function as the ability to use it. It's brain function as in illness, is, an illness of the thought. So it's not doing good. We're not. I mean, er, we obviously need to be looking at something, and we need to stop pointing fingers, because if we all what you do is point fingers, there's no fixing it. And I can see this at work. I can see this anywhere. Like if you point your finger at a coworker, they're just gonna hate you for a while, for a long while sometimes, and there's no way you're gonna fix that unless you bring up a solution while you're, saying, "Hey, this is the problem." You're not supposed to say this is a problem and it's your fault. It's this is the problem. How do we fix it? And here's my idea to fix it. It, I don't. This is just. I mean, it's just getting dumb. And I know this doesn't drive views. I don't want to. Oh, I'm not picking a fight, or I'm not saying something. It's just. It just. It's. When do we stop fighting? That's my question. When do we stop fighting? Like we cannot continue down these roads. I mean, it's what's going to cause so many problems. I mean, I kind of want to. I my what I feel like saying right now might be abrasive to some people, but I I really we need to start praying, and I don't care if we're praying to God or if we're praying to the wickets or we're praying to, like, when do we ever ask that we stop fighting? That's what I'm asking. Like, when do we stop fighting? And honestly, there's a lot of people. I mean, I see people who are willing to, but they push anyway because they need to, because this might be their income at this point. Uh, I miss like things like Crowder's changed my mind, and I miss things like, well, I miss Charlie Kirk for actually speaking to people. And yes, maybe certain people caused injury or harm to people, but at some point pointing the finger just makes it worse. And it's where I see we are. And I wish we wouldn't be there anymore. Um, in 3 more years, let's say the bad orange man is gone and we vote somebody else in. What happens if we actually vote for another Republican? It's not orange man though anymore. Are you going to transfer your hatred towards the next one? Or are we going to transfer our hatred towards the next Democrat? Be it that, and honestly, please, Democrats, give me a reason to vote Democrat again. Because I have. I've done it. I've voted Democrat before. Give me a Democrat. Here. I'll give the Democrats a hint. Who, if you guys listen to this, I'll give you guys a hint. Don't push for crazy stuff. Stop it. I mean, we want common sense. Like, kids are kids. You're not allowed to transition them. You're not allowed to do medical practices on kids without the parents' consent. You're not allowed to, you know, you're not allowed to sit here and say, well, you're not allowed to push for a certain religion. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I dislike Muslims. I mean, I don't agree that they should be able to have Sharia law. We have U.S. law, and that's the thing. The kind of says we've always said this. The U.S. religion and state are separate. You cannot make a law based on religion in the U.S. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to base it on what's. I mean, I hate to say this, but a lot of laws are influenced by the society that it's developed in, and so there's some religion in it, and that's but like common sense religion, like for instance, abortion, right? Abortion, we have, you know, how do I explain this? I'm technically religious. I'm not supposed to agree with it. You're right. I don't technically agree with it. Do I believe that I'm allowed to say no? No, I'm not allowed to tell you no. Am I allowed to say it's not realistic to have an abortion to full term? Yes. I'm allowed to say, hey, maybe we should cut it off there at 2 or 3 months in. First trimester. I'm allowed to say that because I think it's kind of evil to wait that long anyway. Why are you waiting that long? What makes you think you should wait that long? Like, shouldn't you know if you want a kid right away? Not wiffle waffle on it? Oh, I want it now, but I don't want it later, but I know. No, that's not what we do. No, you make the decision. I don't want one. You take care of it. You move on. Not, oh, I want it, and then now I don't. Too late. You screwed up. You made your decision before when you didn't decide before the cutoff. That's what we should be doing. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, and honestly, then you have to live with it too. Decisions you make are your responsibility and no one else's. And once you make a decision early on, you should follow through with it. That's how it goes. So yeah, no Sharia law in America. We don't want it. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't exist because in the United States we're not supposed to have religion basing in law. It's not what you're supposed to do. Now, can you push for a stricter law that isn't specifically Sharia? Sure, one by one. I mean, do I agree that there should be harsher punishments for some people? I do. But you shouldn't say it's because of my religion. Uh, so I don't know. There, we need to start fixing some of our problems. We really do. We need to start fixing some of our problems. A lot of the world needs to start fixing its problems. A lot of the world needs to stop acting like reality doesn't have to apply. Science exists. We know these things. We've known them for 100 years plus. We've known some things for a long time. I mean, we defined what a gender was thousands of years ago, probably. I mean, when was the first time somebody wrote down girl and boy? Do I think that people should have the right to mutilate themselves? I guess. But not until they're allowed to make the decision. And if we say that you're not allowed to be in the army or you're not allowed to, well, now we can't even drink and smoke until you're 21. So maybe that's where it should be. Not allowed to have a handgun until you're 21 in most places, right? So actually, you shouldn't be able to transition until you're 21 because I mean that's the same thing. You want to drink, you're ruining your body. You want to smoke, you're ruining your body. Those are as much as I hate to say it, and you, those are mutilations. You're mutilating yourself, smoking and drinking, just that you're doing it on the inside instead of the outside. How hard is that to compare? I don't know. So, God, we went for a little bit of a rant today, I guess. Um, and it's not really a rant. It's just what I believe. We need to stop. We need to stop fighting amongst each other. We really do. I get we have disagreements, but we're supposed to be able to find a middle ground. We're not supposed to be sitting there shooting at each other. Oh man, like foreign countries are supposed to be fighting us, not one half of the U.S. and the other half of the U.S. And it's the same for any other country. If you're in that country, you shouldn't be really fighting each other, but it's ridiculous. And I understand that other countries, specifically European countries, a lot of the people there don't believe that they're part of that country. And that goes the same for in the US. And that's why some of this stuff really just needs to not be allowed. Because until you actually think of yourself in the US context or in that country's context and understand the laws and how they were based without, applying your everyday life to the law. Because imagine if you would be able to sit down and say, well, this law doesn't apply to me because I think this. Oh God, that sounds like a sovereign citizen. Hmm. There's a lot more of those people too now, or at least I see a lot more like YouTube videos, badge cam videos, and all that stuff. So it's very interesting, and I wish there was a way that I could understand, or not understand, but I would be able to create an outcome where people stop fighting. And actually, that's kind of how I've always been. I can't remember a single time I've ever picked a fight. I've stepped in a bunch of them though. I've been in the middle, break this one up, break that one up. Kind of remember. That's a story. That's a personal story. I'm not going to talk about that. Not till maybe one of these days. It won't matter if I say anything or not, you know. But uh, it's kind of where I'm at. It's like I don't know if is there anyone out there who agrees with me? Is there anyone who opposes my viewpoints that agrees with me? Like this shouldn't be a fighting matter, or lose your crap and you know hurt someone. Um, so I don't know. That's just a quick video I decided to put together. Hopefully I can get back to some other kind of form of video, but that's what I got.